QAnon-believing Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently thought that the wildfires in California in 2018, not caused by climate change, not caused by power lines, instead caused by a space beam. Yes, a laser from space shot down and created these wildfires specifically for Governor Jerry Brown so he can then build his high-speed rail. I am not joking. This is what a representative, a Republican congressperson actually believed and posted about it in 2018. Now, before I get to some of these crazy quotes, I'm going to reference what actually happened here. So as Gizmodo writes, before we go off the deep end, these are the facts. An investigation pinpointed the utilities power lines as the direct cause. The fire was further stoked by fierce winds and hot, dry conditions as it stormed through the town of Paradise and the surrounding area. PG&E paid out more than $25.5 billion in settlements and has pleaded guilty to manslaughter. In an effort to starve off more potential tragedies, it has turned to cutting power during times of high fire danger. But dangerous fire conditions are becoming more frequent due to the climate crisis, and avoiding more wildfires without a multi-decade effort to thin the forest and fix the power grid is nigh impossible. So that's what actually happened. The climate crisis mixed with PG&E and power lines and not taking care of the forest properly, that's what resulted in the wildfires in 2018. But no, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she knew better. Now, before I even read some of this, this is the person that also believes that Hillary Clinton and Uma Abedin drank children's blood together in a satanic ritual. That's part of her beliefs. That's part of the QAnon beliefs that she has. Hillary Clinton, Uma Abedin drank children's blood. Just so we know who we're dealing with here. So, as Media Matters writes, Representative Greene is a proponent of the campfire laser beam conspiracy theory. She wrote on November 17th, 2018 Facebook post, which is no longer available online, in which she said that she was speculating because there are too many coincidences to ignore regarding the fire, including that then California Governor Jerry Brown wanted to build the high-speed rail project, and oddly, there are all these people who have said they saw what looked like lasers or blue beams of light causing the fires. She also speculated that a vice chairman at Rothschild Inc., international investment banking firm, was somehow involved, and suggested the fire was caused by a beam from space solar generators. Greene added, quote, "If they are beaming the sun's energy back to Earth, I'm sure they wouldn't ever miss a transmitter receiving station, right? I mean, mistakes are never made when anything new is invented. What would that look like anyway? A laser beam or light beam coming down to Earth, I guess. Could that cause a fire? I don't know. I hope not. That wouldn't look so good for PG&E, Rothschild Inc., Solarin, or Jerry Brown, who sure does seem fond of PG&E. Now, if you read the entire post, there's more details in here that she includes. And I'll link to this below the video as well. But she mentions how PG&E has a partnership with Solarin that started back in 2009 to launch these solar space solar panels. Now, Jerry Brown was not governor at the time. There was no high-speed rail plan in 2009. But what Marjorie Taylor Greene wants you to believe is that somehow Jerry Brown knew he was going to be governor, somehow got PG&E and Solarin to strike this deal to have these solar panels up in space so that 10 years later, he could use those panels to then burn the forest in California to create his high-speed rail, which of course has not broken ground yet. And also somehow destroying all the homes and infrastructure around this high-speed rail. That it's the only way to do it, as opposed to just typical construction, cutting down trees where necessary to create the rail. No. The best way to do it is an incredibly expensive way. Spend 10 years investing into space solar panels so that you can then, 10 years later, send a laser beam down to Earth, burn a fire where the rail should be. What are we doing here? How is this person in Congress? Look, I get there is... I'm used to corrupt Congress people. I'm used to corrupt politicians. But corrupt and completely batshit insane, this is on a different level. And thankfully, there are lawmakers calling for her to be expelled. But, of course, the GOP are protecting her currently. So we'll see how this all plays out. But this isn't even, of course, this is not even all of it here. As Green's post is just one example of many. In addition to being a QAnon supporter, Green also has pushed conspiracy theories about 9/11, the Parkland and Sandy Hook school shootings, the Las Vegas shooting, and the murder of Democratic staffer Seth Rich, among others. In fact, there's a video of her stalking and harassing David Hogg, who was a surviving victim of the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. And also, of course, this week, this came out, Marjorie Taylor Greene indicated support for executing prominent Democrats in 2018 and 2019 before running for Congress. Can you imagine if this was AOC or Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib about Republicans? What do you think would be happening right now? They would be immediately expelled from Congress. But of course it's not them because they aren't crazy. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And what is happening? Republicans are still defending her. Now we'll have to see where this goes. So Congressman Jimmy Gomez to introduce resolution expelling Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from Congress. I'm not sure how far they can push this, if they're able to actually expel her with just the support of Democrats or not. But I mean, it's completely nuts that you have somebody here who believes that Hillary and Uma Abedin drank children's blood in a satanic ritual, believes that Democratic lawmakers should be murdered, believes that a space beam caused wildfires in California. This person should be nowhere near any sort of power.